my first question to you is, can you just explain to us, very briefly what exactly a closed door consultation meeting means in the UNSC? Is it a formal meeting? Of course, it's a formal meeting, but do they pass a resolution at the end of it? Are there any, official outcomes from these meetings? Uh, and what exactly is the purpose of such meetings?
I think it is normally after a closed door meeting, no resolutions and no statements are usually issued. And it's to understand, usually a closed door meeting is held, it's formal in a way, but informal also because no outcomes are really, no outcome statements are issued or resolutions passed. And it is no, and only the council members are allowed in the meeting. Nobody else, is usually allowed in these closed door meetings. And the purpose, I think, is to understand the situation, to get some kind of clarity on what it is, what any particular situation is, to get all aspects of the issue cleared. And in this particular case, I think Pakistan had called for the meeting because it's a non-permanent member of the council, and so I think the idea was for them to give their side of the story. And I think if any meeting only has one side of the picture presented, so it's not really a very should I say productive meeting in that sense. Yeah.
Now, coming to what exactly happened in the meeting, how do you interpret Pakistan's isolation, regarding the Kashmir issue? Based on, whatever discussions that were held, it is apparent, at least through our sources, that Pakistan was isolated in terms of, it was heavily questioned with regards to terrorism, with regards to Kashmir. How do you view that?
Yes, absolutely. I think the limited information that's available, according to that, yes, Pakistan was isolated, and including questions were asked, whether the LET was involved in this, because as we all know, the Kashmir front had, resistance front had first claimed responsibility, and it is linked to it's a front for the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and clearly. Clear questions were asked, tough questions were asked of Pakistan, because the LET is a banned, organization by the UN. So I think that question may have been difficult for Pakistan to clarify, because they keep denying all links and all support. But I think most of the people do understand the actual picture. Again, if you see the kind of discussion or what has come out, it really, they could not really have, what should I say, given a clear, they've called for, the UNSC meeting has called for, and the UN the UN Secretary General Guterres has asked for de-escalation, for both sides to have a peaceful outcome of this, and to discuss it, and to have a diplomatic resolution, and war should not be an option. But of course, as we have seen, the way Pakistan has been going on saying that nuclear war is not off the table, etc., etc. It seems as if they are the ones threatening, and I think that would have been also been understood, because they kept trying to defend themselves and blaming India for the whole thing. But as we can see, that this particular closed door discussion and this UN Security Council closed door meeting hasn't really fully accepted what Pakistan has said, and rightly so, because it's only one side of the story, and it's just another, and some references that were made to Jammu and Kashmir being a disputed territory, etc., were amended, I believe. So definitely, it is. It is clear that Pakistan was isolated a bit and was not able to convince the Security Council of its side of the story. Let me put it that way.
Right. So, Pakistan has been pushing this rhetoric, or at least this narrative, where they have been trying to attribute rising tensions solely to India, right? So, given that in the process of this meeting, the UNSC members they viewed Pakistan's missile tests and nuclear rhetoric, they viewed this as escalatory, right? Does this undermine their narrative that the tensions are rising solely because of India, because India is supporting escalation?
Absolutely, because they have of course spoken of the Indus Water Treaty being held in abeyance, and they've said we will also similar agreement we will not stick to it, and we, etc., etc. And of course the missile tests and everything are escalatory measures that they have taken, and the kind of their defense minister saying that the nuclear option is not off the table. So this is absolutely escalatory. While making these statements, they're also saying India is to blame because India has raised the sort of point, raised the rhetoric or raised the whole issue to an escalatory level. But that I think has been very clearly, not been accepted, and rightly so, as I said. Missile tests that Pakistan has conducted was a provocative action by them, and their whole along the LOC, there are constant violations of the LOC and of the borders, and where they can constantly, there's constant firing, and India has been doing retaliatory fire. They have not spoken about that at all. I think so. They would know that where they are at fault, they don't want to talk about it, so they keep. But that our EM Dr. Jaishankar has spoken to all the council members except to, of course, Pakistan and China. And they have it has been conveyed to them clearly, and I'm sure they have understood India's side of the whole issue. And while everybody has condemned the terrorist attacks, I think in the current geopolitical kind of balance at the moment, or the shifting geopolitical equations that are going around at the moment, it will be. The blame game or to blame any one side at the moment. I think everybody is avoiding that. And though many would have understood India's point of view, where that the whole thing, what the issue is, and that how the terrorism is supported and, encouraged by Pakistan and its front organization, so to speak. And so I think that message has been understood, but nobody would like to blame either Pakistan or India, and they would only call for resolution and peaceful and de-escalation and resolution of the issue of the differences between the two countries. And that's what they have been repeating, and that is what the UN Secretary General has also said.
What exactly do you think about the rejection of Pakistan's false flag narrative? And the potential involvement of LET basically in the terrorist attack, because LET, as far as I remember, they have claimed responsibility, right, immediately. So, but then, what do you feel about the rejection of this, the false flag narrative?
Yeah, absolutely. I think because they insisted that this meeting be called, and and they try to make a kind of scenario that attack is imminent, India's about to attack us, and that's what they've been saying all the time. India's about to attack us, and there's going to be a conflagration, and etc., etc. So I think that has not happened, and I think the world community has understood, and members of the UNSC also would have understood. And as I said, Dr. Jaishankar has spoken to them and conveyed our side of the story, so to speak, and Pakistan's side of the whole situation was presented at the Security Council meeting by their PR, by their permanent representative there. So I think they would have understood what is the actual situation, and it was rejected partly. I won't say fully, because the fact that the meeting was there and everybody wanted to, the Security Council did meet on this, and with China's support, I think Pakistan did manage to get its way, at least as far as this closed-door meeting was concerned. But yes, the outcome has been a kind of, has been, I think, would be a damn squib really for Pakistan, because they have not succeeded in what they set out. I think they probably wanted condemnation of India, outright condemnation and outright blaming India for the escalation, and that has not happened. So absolutely, it has been, and people, because everybody understands, what the situation is after, India has explained to them also. And in general, they do feel, most countries do feel that this kind of warm-mongering rhetoric that has been emanating more from Pakistan. India has not done any of that. Yes, we have said that we will, bring the perpetrators to justice, and that's what the whole world community and the UN have been saying, that the justice has to be done and the perpetrators have to be brought to justice. And I think that's what India has been saying, and that is what finally I think the UN has also understood, that is what needs to be done.
Thank you so much. All of my questions have been answered.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.